that if you don't post it, it didn't happen, right? So we're going to go ahead and do a selfie and everything. Don't be afraid to smile. That's right. If you don't post it, it didn't happen. So, I just want to, first and foremost, I want to thank Commander Beard and your adjutant, Alicia, for inviting me to come before the Warriors of the North State of the Carolina VFW Fall Conference. And so, and when I reached out to your adjutant, she gave me my direction of fire. She said that my lateral limits was 5 minutes. but I think she was unaware that I was in DI class 1-86. And in that DI class, they taught us how to get 5 minutes out of 3 minutes. And so actually I have 10 minutes. You can start timing me right now. But on June 21st of this year, I made a pledge, I made a commitment, the oath of office to oversee and be the voice, ears, and eyes, and hands and feet of all the Legionnaires in the state of North Carolina. I assured them daily, I will inspire, I will engage our community, state, and nation concerning the American Legion. I told them, I'm assured when all of us come together, North Carolina will always win. That wasn't just a campaign promise. It was a covenant with the 31,000 plus Legionnaires, not counting our other family members, the auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion. I told them that as a covenant, I will serve every veteran, every family, every community that believes in unity, honor, and purpose. My question to your adjutant was, what do you want me to speak about? The American Legion. So, but before I go there, a little background on who I am and how I got to come before you and stand before you with my fellow VFW brethren. I served in the United States Marine Corps from June 1980 to October 31st, 2010. I have one wife, 3 sons, and 1 daughter, and 4 grands. Y'all will catch that later. I am a life member of the Marine Corps League. I am a life member of the Military Order of the Devell Dogs, a life member of the Disabled American Veterans, a life member of Veterans of Foreign Wars. In fact, my youngest born son was Eagle Scout of the Year for our VFW Post 5886, a banner post. And he was Eagle Scout of the Year for District 7 in 2021. I am a life member of the Montfort Point Marines. And I am a paid up for life in the American Legion. I shared that to give you a visual of the unity within me. As many in this room, there's no divide. There's many of us that are joint life members and taking care of veterans. The formation of the American Legion began in 1919 and after World War I. A group of 20 officers served in the American Expeditionary Force in France. And they picked out 1 officer, Lieutenant Colonel Theodore Roosevelt Jr. Collectively, they came together to propose an organization of veterans. In February of 1919, the group formed a temporary committee and selected several hundred officers who had the confidence and respect of the whole Army. Then about 1,000 officers and enlisted men attended the Paris Caucus in March of 1919. They adopted a temporary constitution, and they also adopted the name, the American Legion. Congress granted the Legion a national charter on 16 September 1919. The first national convention convened in Minneapolis, Minnesota on November the 10th, 1919, adopting the permanent constitution and electing officers to head the organizations. Delegates also voted to locate the Legion's national headquarters in Indianapolis, Indiana, where it still sits today. The Legion continues to support our 4 pillars, which divides us into one institution, advocacy upon which it is founded: Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation, National Security, Americanism, Children and Youth. And so I brought a couple of pamphlets for those who have a desire at the end of this meeting, and they're back on the table back there in the back near the water fountain. The American Legion has advocated for meaningful veteran legislation over the last 106 years. As you are aware, we are the largest veteran organization in the world. All can join. Army, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, Reserves, active duty, and yes, even Marines. And although both of our organizations have worked together off and on for the last 100 years, but since September 2024, the American Legion Government Affairs Office in Washington, D.C. have come together and has engaged extensively discussion with the veterans of foreign wars of how our organization can strengthen in collaboration at the national, state, and local levels. After receiving an invitation to come stand before you, I'm honored to be a part of the solution. The American Legion and the VFW are the only two major veteran service organizations with dedicated portfolios in veterans issues, military affairs, and national security. This alignment makes us a natural partners in advancing a unified agenda and on behalf of those who we serve. The American Legion serves the youth of America with outstanding programs such as the American Legion Baseball, Junior Shooting Sports, Boys and Girls State, Boys and Girls Nation. The American Legion has supported the Boy Scouts of America since 1919, and today charters approximately 2,300 scouting units comprising of over 61,000 young people. The American Legion High School Oratorical Program is a constitutional speech contest that has awarded more than $3 million since the scholarships to young men and women since they established it. Our support has made a big difference to the recipients of Child Welfare Foundation grants, which are used as education to the public about diseases as juvenile diabetes, the Marfan syndrome, and autism. We have not forgotten the young people whose parents have made the ultimate sacrifice or have suffered from serious disabilities during the war on terrorism. The American Legion's Legacy Scholarship Fund was created to help for those who was going to college and education or those who lost a military family member since 9/11 or a permanent 50% or more disability. We also support strong veterans health care system. We support that as undoubtedly have saved many lives. The American Legion does these things not because it can, but because it's who we are. We stand on our preamble, 100% Americanism. Today, we are still serving and still fighting. Since the war on terrorism, 20 plus years, we have been fighting just as hard. From the passing of the post 9/11 GI Bill in 2009 to the most recent in 2019, the passing of the Forever GI Bill, passed by Congress and signed by the President. On Capitol Hill, our collaboration with the VFW, with no one having a monopoly of taking care of veterans, has already yielded results. Together, we have addressed critical issues such as foreign medical program coverage, the POW MIA funding and awareness, the military quality of life initiatives, counter-predatory claims companies, protecting claims and benefits access, and advancing benefits extension packages, including increasing the dependent indemnity compensation and the special monthly compensation for several injured veterans. We are fighting to ensure veterans have access to quality health care and that the VA system is responsive to the unique medical needs of people like us in this room who have served this nation. While some groups criticize the high cost of veterans' benefits, the American Legion reminds the public that the true debt is one that can never be truly repaid. It's the cost that is on display in every U.S. cemetery and the veteran cemeteries around the globe. Another way the American Legion supports the troops is by assisting their families while they are deployed. Beyond Washington, both organizations maintain an unparalleled presence in the local community. Many of our members are dual members, as evidence of the conversations I had this morning. And our posts frequently share resources at our community event. I was at the powwow in Lumberton with the Lumbee tribe. The VFW was right there with the American Legion. I went to the Veterans Experience in Cary. The VFW was right there with the American Legion. Some of the most mentioned organizations in local communities include the VFW and the American Legion. So our collective presence and influence is effective in being notified by our civilian leadership. Our missions are the same. They really are. Our values are the same. And our commitment to veterans is the same. The more we walk this path together, the more powerful we become, not just for our members, but for every veteran, every service member, and every family who looks to us for leadership. Because I only have 60 seconds. On behalf of my friend, whom I served with over the years, Sergeant Major Sean, who became one of the 22 January 2020. I'll stop right there.
George L.
With these words, the American Legion, to foster and perpetuate a 100% Americanism, to preserve the memories and incidents of our associations and our wars. I thank you for allowing me to come before you.